100 yards in that game. It's the Lions and the Texans.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the Stadium in Houston. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going at the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27. You talk about this Lions defense. It's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league. And we're going to see the ball in the air quite a bit here. This is a top 5 passing offense in the NFL. And they certainly like to get everybody involved. So this defense, they're going to have to be able to counterpunch somehow. They couldn't there, and it's an opening drive, first down.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Lions, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they...
And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Stroud is hit and the ball is loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him. This
field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now a 2nd and 10. All play action. Here's Hooker. Well, a tough throw there across his body. It's incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his way
down. Hooker looks to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 14 carries, 112 yards.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. The drive stays alive. A third down gain of 8. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. From the 24 now, here's a second down and 9. They go play action. Here's Hooker. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And he is caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Hendon Hooker. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Lions use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week. But here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
Here's Smith to return it. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Here's Stroud. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Here's 2nd and 10. And Stroud now to throw. That's underneath to Pierce. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. You talk about this Lions defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
That was a nice play right there, but overall this season, it's been an absolute disaster. A total lack of communication on the back end. They need a leader who can put this team, this unit, on his shoulder pads and carry them to the right spots. And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd and 5. Another carry for Pierce. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
But he's got the first down yardage before he's brought.
They went back to the roots and powered forward to get the first down.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Stroud. A quick throw there is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Stroud on 3rd down now. And the defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Hooker. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first. And another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Offense back out there along with Dameon Pierce. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. On the jet sweep, this is Dell. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of games.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. Leads to 3rd and 11.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Looking deep here for Dobbs. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Now off play action. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the